Hey, welcome back everyone. This is Uncle Frank and I am not a financial advisor, nor is any of the content to be construed as financial advice. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. All right, this one goes out to my man Ricky. Billionaire Ken Griffin's Chicago luxury penthouse finds a buyer for a loss. Billionaire Ken Griffin has found a buyer for one of his luxury properties in Chicago after cutting the asking price to half of what he originally paid. I guess whenever Kenny can't cheat, he loses. What a sap. Stay out of my town. In this episode, I want to focus on Archer Aviation, my number one personal pick, not investment advice or advisor. On your screen is the Midnight aircraft. You'll be able to board this contraption with up to 3 friends and fly from San Jose to South San Francisco in 10 minutes instead of driving an hour and 15 minutes, and that's with or without a pilot. While I'm not an expert from the NTSB, I stand by my belief that if Kobe Bryant and his daughter were on a Midnight instead of a helicopter, they might still be alive today. I think this is a game changer, and when celebrities in California start taking selfies in this thing, the buzz on the company and its stock will be considerable. There's the 5-minute chart from today's action, and we started pre-market with a low of 310. Climbed briefly to a high of 322, and then finished the day at 319, up 8 cents or 2.57%. I call your attention to the big white arrow. Notice the 2 huge volume spikes after hours. Also notice the stock barcoded perfectly at 319 throughout the entire after hours session and was completely unaffected by the huge spikes in volume. Normally, volume spikes of this size correspond to a big green or red candle, like during normal trading hours. I wonder what could be going on here. In the dark pools, after hours, all unsupervised by regulators. This may offer some explanation. Over 66% of the day's volume was executed off exchange. In the dark pools, merely 12.32% of the day's trades were performed on the exchange Archer is listed on, the New York. I'm starting to wonder why any company should be listed on the exchange at all. This chart depicts Archer's volume by exchange. That gray line on the top that's actually about to run off the chart, that marks the huge spike in recent off-exchange activity. Based on this chart, it's never been higher. I think I see the problem for our little Wall Street devils. You see, max paying this week is only $3 for the October 18th expiration on Friday. There are still 25,293 calls in the money, and the market makers and sellers of these calls need to artificially contain the price of ACHR so that they expire worthless. As long as they can illegally manipulate the stock and keep it pinned under 320, very few people will exercise, and they could rake all that premium off the table. What they're really worried about is the 229,000 out of the money calls. If the stock price advances and these options begin to print, they may have to honor their obligations to those call holders, and under this SEC and FINRA, that's simply not done. So I expect a lot of spoofing, layering, naked shorting, and misusing algos and dark pools so that Wall Street can rob retail in this stock and many, many others. Archer did 10.35 million in volume today, and that exceeds the 3-month average of 9.92 million. So in spite of all my bitching, I'm happy to see the stock price up on higher volume and higher open interest. Archer was also mentioned in this article today. Wednesday's ETF with unusual volume, XAR. XAR is the Spider S&P Aerospace and Defense ETF, and it saw unusually high volume in afternoon trading today with over 288,000 shares traded versus a 3-month average volume of about 88,000. Shares of XAR were up about 1.2% on the day. Components of that ETF with the highest volume on Wednesday were Rocket Lab USA, trading up about 8.3% with over 18.7 million shares changing hands so far in the session, and Archer Aviation, up about 2.9% at the time on volume of over 5.6 million shares. According to Interactive Brokers, at the time of this recording, I see 1.4 million shares of Archer available to lend and short at a cost to borrow fee of 4.67. According to Fintel.io, there are 51.84 million shares shorted. Short interest ratio elevated, 6.11 days to cover. Short interest as a percentage of the float, 23.32%. Off exchange short volume ratio, 57.62%. And we just keep getting positive articles from the Motley Fool. Here's another one today. Why I keep buying these 14 incredible growth stocks. Archer Aviation is at the forefront of the electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft industry. The company aims to revolutionize urban transportation with its electric air taxis, potentially disrupting the $1 trillion global urban air mobility market. Wall Street's consensus suggests a 209% upside potential for Archer, highlighting its promising long-term growth prospects despite a negative 49.8% year-to-date performance. The company's progress in aircraft development and strategic partnerships with major airlines bolster its potential for future success. Wow, another positive article from this morning. I guess I'm not alone anymore on this one. Is Archer Aviation the penny stock with the biggest upside potential according to analysts? According to the piece, overall ACHR ranks 4th among the 8 penny stocks with the biggest upside potential according to analysts. Go check this one out at Insider Monkey if you're interested. There's the hourly chart for GME, which gives you the best look for how you're doing for the week, in my opinion. GameStop closed at 21.66, up 39 cents or 1.83%. Hourly for AMC finished at 423, up 8 cents or 1.93%. Based on the hourly chart, we look pretty range-bound between 410 and 422. See if we can break out of that. There's the weekly chart for the Gabelli Utility Trust, or GUT. We finished at 521, up 9 cents or 1.76%. Chart appears to be hooking north again. At this price, it pays a dividend yield of 11.27%. And remember, it pays monthly and not quarterly, not investment advice or advisor. There's the weekly view of XRP. At the time of this recording, I've got it at 0.5463, up 4.04% over the past 7 days. Volume over the past 24 hours has dropped 14.7%. Hey, I want to thank you for watching, and please remember to hit the like button after this slide if you enjoyed the presentation. Subscribe to the channel and set the alert so you're notified when I have new information to share. See you at the bell.